morning, December the 15th. It was a balmy 1 degree on my ride in. Had about an hour ride into work. It's starting to warm up a little now. My thermometer says it's 15, but I'm pretty sure that thing's a liar. A couple shots of ether in the skidder this morning, she fired right up. Those Cummins engines are they're notoriously reliable. I can attest to that. Sitting in the truck waiting for the rest of the crew. All the saws are in the back of the boss man's pickup. We just decided to drive out here with our pickups instead of going all the way to home base and getting the service truck every day. Didn't make any sense, all that extra travel, you know, silly. And it's just as long as of a drive. Didn't make any sense. Oh. Yeah, just enjoying some heat before I gotta go out. Got my, I believe they're Forester brand chainsaw pants, insulated chainsaw pants for use in the winter. I don't have to put chaps on. I'm wearing them already, and I'm cozy. Have the Under Armour on as well. It's too cold. Too damn cold. The saws don't like it. Machines don't like it. I don't like it. What are you gonna do? Just gotta make that money. Gotta pay the rent. Gotta feed the family. So out into the cold I go. There was a time when I made really good money working for other companies. Not that I like my job, don't get me wrong, I like where I'm at. But I could save enough money up to not have to suffer in the winter if I didn't want to. You know, I had to be conservative in my spending, you know, pretty much necessities and bills only, but it sure was nice being indoors most of the winter and only going out when I had to. Yeah, whatever. I really enjoy logging. It might sound stupid to some, but I really enjoy it. Nothing but running the saw all day. Go through 2 gallons of fuel in the woods in a day between the feller and the slasher, and it's just awesome. 2.5 gallons. Balls to the walls. Down here in Sheffield, and it is the material out here is outstanding. The pine is it's straight and tall, and the biggest leader on any of these is maybe 3-inch. I might have run across one that was a little bit bigger, but you know, we actually call it Sheffield pine. It's obviously just white pine, but we call it Sheffield pine because in this area it has all seemed to have grown like that, which is awesome. It means it's really good timber, good value, good money, and just nice working with nice material, not having to trim so much, just a little bit to and get it out to the landing. Landing's actually in that building lot that we cleared, which is nice. The folk were kind enough to allow us to use it. Seeing as how it's winter and we doubt they'll be digging the hole for the house this year, or at least this season rather. It probably won't break ground till March or April. All depends on what this winter gives us. Sometimes we have an extended winter. Berkshire County's funny like that. Some years you'll just have a cold, dry winter, and then other years you will get feet of snow in a long winter. And I don't think this is going to be one of those feet of snow long winter deals. Seeing as how it's the 15th and we've only really gotten a couple inches here and there, you know, it might have amounted to, I don't know, I'm looking out the window and it's maybe 3 inches on the ground. Big deal. I don't like a lot of snow in the log season, you know. Got to trudge through it, dragging all your equipment around. Your mobility's limited because you're wearing layers, because it's cold. You know, you're working along pretty hard and you get warm. You know, it ain't bad, but Ugh. Problem is, it gets packed around your pants, and then it wicks up your pants, and then it wicks down into your boot. And then you get wet feet. I don't know nobody that likes wet feet, especially this guy. I get eczema on my feet. You want to talk about a torturous ordeal. It's very frustrating. It's like, think of it as almost like chronic athlete's foot, but it's not. It's way worse. It cracks and it bleeds and it burns, and it's just one of the damnedest things to deal with. And in the winter, it's difficult because you're layering up your feet so your feet don't get cold. Well, when you start to work, they sweat, and that sweat rebounds onto your foot. Now, you can wear all the moisture wicking equipment you want, all the moisture wicking socks and whatever, but I find that they don't help nearly enough. I either have to change my socks halfway through the day or suffer through it. Just push through it. Oh, woke up this morning. House was like 65 degrees. I couldn't believe it. I had the heat set to 70, and the wood stove was going, and it just wouldn't warm up. It was wild. I was getting nervous, because my wife and my baby are in there. I want them to be warm during the day while I'm gone. Amber tends to the stove as best she can, but she's pretty busy, with the baby and doing chores and running errands and doing things for me. So, she doesn't always get to tend to the stove as much as we'd both like. But hey, it's all right. We figure it out in the end. We figure it out. It is a cold son of a gun out there. Doesn't look like too much breeze though, which is nice. Yesterday was windy. It was super windy. It was awful. But we got, I don't know, there's probably 4,500 feet out there. And we started late because had some issues to deal with. So we started late. But hey, our life. Nice warm coffee, nice warm truck. Man, life is good. Life is good. Looks like there was almost an accident up there. People got to be careful in this cold, slick weather. It's funny, you live in New England all your life, and you drive in the winter, every winter, and for some reason it seems like people forget what to expect, like it's not going to snow or there's not going to be black ice. Well, let me tell you, it happens every year. Every year. One way or another, there's cold and there's ice and there's slick conditions, and I don't understand what people's mindset is, but I'll be damned if it's a warm, sunny winter. It's always cold. One thing I can say is it's usually always cold here in the winter. It's pretty consistent, as in, freezing and below. When I woke up this morning, I think my thermometer at the house said below 0, but it's in the shade anyhow, on the back side of the house. That's a liar too. All the thermometers are liars. This one says it's 15 degrees in my truck, and it's just not 15 degrees. I bet you it's probably 5 degrees outside. Gonna get back in there today. Gotta give a shout out to Matt Hall. That 2166 is a running son of a gun. I put a 28-inch reduced weight Oregon bar on it, full complement chain, and I filed it for pine. I loaded that sucker up, put the 7-pin sprocket on it. It had an 8 that Matt sent with it, but I put a 7 on it because I just always use 7-pin sprockets for work. If you want to play, you can put whatever you want on it, but when you're working, you want torque, you need production, so you gotta gear them down a little bit. It's a runner. 70, 71 or 72 cc's. Those 372s, which is basically what both the Johnson Reds I have, except for the 2260, They're 372s. They're black and red 372s. I love them. I love the straight handle on them. They got pretty good power. I think the fuel tank's a little small for them, honestly. Or they're just real thirsty, which they probably are from being ported. You know, what's a man to do? You want more power in production, you gotta have them ported, and when you have them ported, they use more fuel. Whatever. I'd rather have more power. I get tired of fighting the saws. If it becomes remotely dull, I just stop what I'm doing and sharpen it. People piss and moan about it. I don't care. I don't care. It's not your saw. You can beat the crap out of your saw all you want. I won't. I like my saws. I like my equipment. I take good care of my things. I check their state of tune regularly. Always check the chain. Leading cause of saw failures, bottom end failures, things of that nature. Dull saw, plugged air filter. Two easy, stupid things you can do to prolong the life of your saw. Blow the filter out. Make sure the chain is sharp so the saw is loaded. The faster it spins, the harder it is on the saw. It's that simple. The bottom ends are designed to spin at X speed. You know? Yeah, you can turn them up to whatever you want, but the fact of the matter is it probably ain't going to last forever like that. You know, my 660 that Jason ported will four-stroke beyond 14,000 RPM, but it's not as strong past there, and you're risking bottom end damage. You know? Tune it back. Tune it back close to what the factory says. You know? Are you really gonna lose that much power by being safe and tuning in a little fat? No. Honestly, they're probably, I haven't had a tack out to test this, this is just my conjecture, that they're probably running the same speed in the wood anyways. They seem to, at least. You know, 11,000 RPMs. Seems like whatever you tune it to, it's a couple thousand RPMs lower. Unless you're on the dogs and you're yanking on the rear handle and you're pushing the saw, and you know, if you're letting it self-feed and you're letting the saw do the work and you're not yanking on it, then it should be, you know, should be running plenty fine. Looks like the saws are arriving. I'm gonna go to work. Talk to you guys later. We'll post this up. Take care. Be safe.